Hi there, my name is Joe, and today we're going to talk about Nikon's 17 to 55 millimeter f2.8 zoom lens. It's a pro zoom, it's a pro mid-range zoom that retails for around $1,300. It's a DX lens, meaning you can only use it on DX sized cameras. Well, however, you can use it with a 35 millimeter. It's just going to have some vignetting on the sides. I believe you can use it from about 25 to 55. It's usable. Anything lower than that, anything wide open, well, you're pretty much going to see some vignetting. It has 14 elements in 10 groups, which is 3 aspheric and 3 ED elements. It has manual automatic and manual focusing. MA meaning you can override the focusing whenever you want. There's a focusing ring, which is what I prefer to do anyways, instead of just keep switching it from manual. It's about a little less than 2 pounds. It's about 1.7 pounds. So as you can see, it's a pretty heavy lens. It comes with an HB31 hood, which is pretty big. It's about 110 millimeters long, 26.6 ounces, which is 755 grams. What else? It focuses to about a little bit more than 1 foot, so that's the minimum focus range. The 1755 takes 77 millimeter filter, metal construction. It's very rugged, and if you can hear it, look at the the way you use the focusing. It's very tight and it's very precise, and it has really solid construction. It's not very sloppy. I mean, unlike the 18 to 200, which is kind of, it makes a lot of scratchy noises, and it's not as solid, but this is a consumer lens. It's plastic. This thing, metal. Okay, it's all metal. The lens hood for this is the HB31, which you can reverse it if you're storing it. Here it is mounted backwards, and compare that to the 50 millimeter. See that? Okay. If you put the lens hood, I'm going to mount this on a D300. And it with the battery grip and the body, it balances pretty well. This whole rig is about 5.5 pounds or almost 6 pounds. It's a heavy rig. You can hear the focusing action here. Watch. Very quiet and very fast. So basically, this is where the 2.8 is going to help you a lot, like the low light shooting. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off the lights, and we're going to see how it shoots. So I have it set up at 2.8 aperture priority, and I'm going to bump up the ISO to about 3200, and we're gonna shoot that look right there. I'm going to use the live view mode. So there you go. So I'm going to focus there, and there you go. See, look at that sharpness. See, this is handheld. Okay, so basically we're going to preview that shot I don't know if you can see it. So that's a 3200 handheld. Okay, so now we are gonna turn on the lights, and we're gonna shoot in normal light. Now I'm gonna lower the ISO to let's say let's put it at 400 and still at 2.8. We're gonna shoot. It's very sharp, as you can see. You know, you can zoom in. Very sharp. That's the most I can zoom in, but that everything is really sharp, and you know, really you get what you pay for. Okay, let's talk about the pros and cons. First, let's talk about the pros. Number one, it's an excellent glass. It's really sharp. Number two, it's a fast glass. It's a constant 2.8. Any zoom range from 17 to 55, it's constant 2.8, which means it'll give you really good performance on dark. If you don't have a lot of natural light, or you know, if you're shooting under natural light, or you don't have a flash, you're shooting in a museum or some place where flash photography is not allowed. Another one, it's solidly built. I mean, this big chunk of glass is heavy, and it's metal. Since it's AFS, it works with a D40 or a D60. Camera bodies with no internal motors will work with this, because the 1755 has its own internal motor. It's also an internal focus, which means you can put a grad filter or a polarizer, and it's not going to rotate, because all the focusing is done inside the lens. Another thing is, since it's a Nikkor, it has a really good resale value. So if it doesn't work for you, or in the future, let's say you upgrade to an FX camera, to a D3, D3X, or D700, you can always resell it and still get your money back. Plus, there's always market for Nikkors. You know, the focusing is so fast on this thing. You know, on your D300, you set it to something like, not a 51, although it has a 51 point autofocus, set it to something like an 11 point. It's fast. It focuses right away. Now, let's talk about the cons. Number one, price. You know, at 1,300 bucks, that's not a joke. It's something that you have to see if your budget allows it. You know, if you don't require fast glass, then you know you're probably better off with a 1685 or you know, an 18200 if you travel a lot. Number two, for most people, it's heavy. You know, for such a small range, 1755, it's such a heavy glass. So that's the other thing, it's heavy, but again, that could be a pro, because it balances well, and it makes your body stable. You know, if you're using a heavy body like a D300, it balances pretty well. Also, for some people, having no VR is a deal breaker. Most people are so used to using VR. But again, having no VR means lower cost, because I would say VR probably adds about a couple $100 more. So it adds more to an already expensive lens. And also, having VR means the glass will have to be bigger. Another thing is that if you put VR, you might be compromising image quality. You know, 1755, you probably don't need VR anyway. So another con would be the gap. If you get a 1755 and it's a 2.8, naturally you're gonna pair it with a 70 to 200, 2.8. The 55 to 70 gap is, although not big, it does matter, and some people shoot in those focal range. Another thing is that it's a DX lens. If you upgrade in the future to like a D3, D3X or D700, most likely you're gonna replace this. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my mini review, and happy shooting. Bye.